Today we are going to do a review of the English Elm, which I air layered and made it into two trees. The actual tree, which was air layered, and the bottom part was to be grown as a raft style. Hello everyone, this is Iqbal for mikbonsai, and firstly I'm going to work on the lower half. The pot is very badly filled with weeds and I'm going to clean the pot up, and the upper part, it has been growing quite vigorously and a little bit of thinning is in order, and that's what we'll be doing in the first part. In the second part I will be showing you the upper part of the tree. What you see here is all weeds. It's really full of weeds, so I'm going to clean it up. I haven't touched it since the time the air layer was removed, so it's far easier just to take the top layer of the soil out with the weeds and top it up with more soil if necessary. And I'm going to remove all this, and that is the easiest way of cleaning this pot. So I'm going to go under the foliage and again use tweezers to pick out the weeds, and I'm going to completely make it weed free, and after that we will go into thinning the foliage and making sure that we only retain those trunks which will be necessary to the design. Perhaps maybe a few more, and we'll refine it at future dates, but for today certainly some thinning will be necessary. And so work on this part now, and basically just lift it and the whole thing just comes apart, because the weeds are so thick and intertwined that it's quite easy to take it all up like that. This is done, and there are some thick weeds. Taking those out by hand. So this part is done, as you can see, and I will continue and we will catch up shortly. Right folks, I have cleaned up the pot, and I'll just turn it a little bit over so you can see all the weeds have been removed, and it's looking much better already. That's the other side, and what we are now going to do is do some detailed work on it. So I'm starting to work from this end of the pot, and we will work right round. And here this appears to be a little sort of tree, which is going to be a little tree with root system of its own, and this part is dead, so I'm going to remove the dead part up to about there. That's all that's necessary now, and we'll leave the rest of it to grow and recover, and next March when we do further work on it we will separate this from the rest of the tree. And also I'm going to thin it out a bit. There are too many of little branches which are going to turn into trunks coming out from the same spot. So I'm going to remove this one and just leave this one. And likewise here there are again quite a few. There's about 3 or 4. I'm going to remove all except one, and so we'll remove the one on the inside. We'll remove the one on the inside, and it basically thins it out and also allows more light to get through. Normally we remove the stronger ones and keep the weak ones, but in this instance, as we are growing from scratch, we keep the larger one. And there's another very weak one down here, so we take that one out, and very small, another tiny one which we take out. Again, this has opened up this part of the raft style. And now coming to this side, remove the very thin, weedy ones. Retain these thicker and bigger ones. Right, we've cleaned up the pot. We've thinned the branches, which are going to be future trunks. And I'm now going to top up the soil. We removed quite a lot of soil, and I'm using the cat litter, which a lot of you are familiar with. And that's what I'm going to use to top up the where we've removed the soil. A lot of it came out with the weeds, and it's far quicker and efficient to do it that way than try and remove each weed individually. Okay, so the soil is all done, and I'll give it a quick turn so you can see what it looks like. There we are, folks, the top of the pot cleaned up of all weeds, topped up with fresh soil, and the little trunks, which are very, very thin and weedy at the moment, have been thinned, and that is going to be the front. I'll give it a quick 360. That's the back, and that is where we started. The other thought that I've had is when we repot this next March, we are going to reduce the root ball quite considerably, and also there are a lot of these ugly roots. We will remove those and make it much tighter. You can see how tidy and neat it looks. This is a Korean mica pot, and it's cleaned up quite nicely. Right, folks, that's the raft style from the bottom half of the air-layered English Elm. I have cleaned up the pot, and it's going to go back to its spot on the bench. And I do keep turning it every now and then to make sure that the growth is even. And we will look at it again next March. This is the English Elm, the upper part, which was air-layered and separated from its base. And it was potted up, and we've simply left it to grow. It's recovered from the work that we did on it, and over winter months there are a few branches which need to be wired and placed in a different position, and I'll be also doing some reduction work on the branches to pull them in and improve ramification. At the moment the branches are too thick and spread all over the place, and as we speak I'm giving it a slow 360 and just seen a cobweb which I've removed, and this is the front. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. This is Iqbal Khan for mikbonsai in West London. And now for the afterthought. Why don't cannibals eat divorced women? Because they are better. You dig?